park those excuses at the back door and focus on moving forward with the desire to lean in and make it happen. And that all-in commitment is an absolute game changer.
Welcome to Monday Mornings with Michelle, the new business podcast. Whether you're kicking off your day or kickstarting your business, Michelle is going to kick your ass into next week with the essential fours: strategy, systems, support, and state of mind. Now, welcome to center stage, Michelle Nedelec.
Hey there, peeps. This is Michelle Nedelec, and I'm super glad that you're here with us today because today I have my amazing guest on, Sandy. Sandy, thank you so much for being here with us today.
Great to be here, Michelle. I'm excited.
Awesome. It's going to be great. So give us a 5,000-foot view of who you are and what you love to do.
Well, I live just outside of Toronto, Canada, and I'm a success mindset coach. I've been working with and trained and mentored by Bob Proctor. I have 3 wonderful kids in their 20s. And I love wine. I love the mountains and the lakes, and I love musicals, and I love Harry Potter. That's me in a nutshell.
That's awesome. So when it comes to work, what are you currently working on?
Well, I have a global coaching practice. So having worked with Bob, for people who don't know Bob, of course, he is legendary. We just lost him 3 months ago, yes. But he was considered the top success and prosperity teacher in the world. He was in the movie The Secret, Think and Grow Rich, The Legacy, and he's been influencing and impacting millions of people for 6 years. So, I've got a global coaching practice where I help people understand how success works, how to accelerate success. And in another nutshell, I help people cut the crap to accelerate success. And CRAP is an acronym. CRAP stands for counterproductive, really asinine programming. You've got it. I've got it. We've all got it. We've got lots of good programming, but it's the stupid stuff like, oh, I can't do that, or I'm not very good over here. I could never do that. All that, limiting self-image stuff that can get in our way. And it is crap. So I show people through a very, very methodical way of how success works and how to cut that crap and accelerate their success in an environment of support, guidance, and accountability. Because one of the big things that I firmly believe from all the work that I've done for 6 years and all the clients I've worked with is that we need, and me included, is we need way more support than we think we do. Because that old programming of ours has a good hold on us, and we think we can climb beyond it, and it pulls us back down again. So we do, in the work that I do in my Success Academy. I mean, I'm the founder of our Success Academy and of the Unstoppable Success System, which is just our flagship system of helping people to cut the crap and accelerate success with a methodology, with a lot of support, guidance, and accountability that really makes a difference in people's lives. So it's extremely rewarding for me because I've seen what it can do for me, because I came from high-level success in corporate, switched to being an entrepreneur because one of my children had some health issues, and I expected high-level success as an entrepreneur, and it did not happen.
Funny how that worked. Well, one of the things that I loved about Bob when I first met him was, to me, up until that point, everything that I heard about you can be a success was all think happy thoughts and you can, you'll be happy. And I'm like, that is such a crock of shit. I was not an advocate of that. And then when I met Bob, he was like, there are laws of nature that govern success. And if you abide by the laws like gravity, you understand gravity, you can build a better bridge. You understand wind direction and gravity, you can build a better airplane. You need to understand these things. It's not just, be a nice person and nice things will happen to you. That's so
no, you can say positive statements till the cows come home. But if you're working against the natural laws, yeah, I mean, it's a great point. Absolutely.
Yeah. So talk to me about the knit and grit, because I'm loving your attitude towards this, and you exude it delightfully well to me. So I know with that corporate background and the work that you're doing right now, there is a solid balance of like, let's get down to brass tacks and get shit done. And it's all about your attitude. How do those weave in for you?
Well, first of all, it's understanding, to cut to the chase, that every one of us has the talent, the capability, the giftedness to experience extraordinary success on a consistent basis. So, cutting to the chase, you've got what it takes to succeed. Cutting to the chase, success is a process. It is, if I'm in a room of 1,000 people and I ask people, put your hand up if you know the steps of success, what kind of things do you have to do to succeed? Well, some hands kind of go up, and then I'll ask, and keep your hands up if you know what order. Yeah, the hands kind of disappear because we're not taught this. And yet, cutting to the chase, you have the talent and capability. Success is an exact process, exact science, again, with the natural laws. So you have to know how success works. You do need help. Absolutely. All successful people will tell you they could not have done it alone. They've relied on people. And here's the thing. When you really, really do want that success, you don't want anything to stop you, including yourself. So you do want support. You do want guidance. You want the accountability. So these are the types of things to help people start to understand, cutting to the chase, you've got what it takes. Success is a process. You have to understand it. You do need help, and stop wasting time. Don't think you've got all the time in the world. We don't know how much time we've got. So, you got to park or you park that ego to go, what? I want to rely on some help. I want to get that breakthrough next level success after next level success that you're entirely capable of. So, that said, that's kind of a background, a foundation to understand. Here's what it takes. Here's a little bit of that mindset that you have to get a hold of and embrace in order to start accelerating success. And then, one of the key things that I teach people to understand how success works is what I call a success triad. 3 things: your success, my success, doesn't matter your age, your ethnicity, your experience, your past failures, perceived failures, doesn't matter. Success works the same every single time. 3 things. Clarity of desire is the first one. You've got to be crystal clear what you would like to create for your next level success. Crystal clear. So some people will tell me, well, I want to be financially healthy. It's like, well, great, but what's that mean? It could mean, is it 5,000 a month, 50,000, 500,000 a month? There's no right or wrong, but you need to be clear. This is what I want. And it doesn't have to be money oriented either, but you've got to have that clarity, because your mind will go to work for you. We all own the most powerful instrument in the world, free and clear, called your mind. And it is powerful, but you got to allow it to go to work for you. When you're clear, your mind can start to pop the ideas to, oh, why don't we make that? Think about this, think about that. But clarity of desire also involves the emotional level. You've got to be emotionally involved with what success, what kind of success you want to create. You've got to be, it's got to excite you, because you can be crystal clear. Yeah, I want to be making $50,000 every single month. Great, that's clear. Are you excited by that? Well, yeah, it'd be nice. It's like, okay. If you're not clear and you're not excited, then you'll bail. You will not commit all in. Okay, so clarity of desire is the first one. The second one is you have to have a strong enough self-image and belief system to support your goal. Now, that can be confusing, and it was to me. When I left, I had high-level successes in corporate, expected the same in the entrepreneurial world, and it didn't happen because I didn't realize my self-image was not strong enough to support what it takes to be as an entrepreneur. It was all tied up with structure, corporate structure, healthcare. I came from healthcare in my first life chapter. So, we have strong self-images. We are all successful in all sorts of different areas of our lives, whether it's as a parent, as a friend, as a community leader, a coach, previous job chapters. We've got lots of successes. The self-image supported us along the way. It's where next level success is concerned that, breaking through to quantum leap kinds of successes that we're all capable of, that's where you need to bring your self-image in support of that. And that's where most people are lacking. If your self-image was supporting your dream goals, they'd be happening. So you've got to get your self-image strong enough to support that clarity of what you say you really, really want. And the last thing, the third leg of that triad, is that all-in commitment. All 3 of those are in play at all times, whether you're aware of it or not, whether you like it or not, they are in play. Once you are clear and excited, once your self-image is going, you know what, we can do this. Yeah, come on, we can do this. You'll be willing to be all in committed. No more excuses. You can park those excuses at the back door and focus on moving forward with the desire to lean in and make it happen. And that all in commitment is an absolute game changer. So when your self-image is going, yeah, you're willing to commit. When you're clear and excited, you're willing to commit. And that's the kind of the magic sauce right there that is kind of laid out in front of you. Take that into consideration. What does it take to get clear and excited? How do I align my self-image to support? And that's when you're going to desire to be way more committed. That'll accelerate your success.
Nice. I love all of that. And my brain's going 5 million directions, wanting to get in all the questions that I can perceive that our listeners are going to have. So I'm going to start with the negative and then we can go to the positive, because I think a lot of people misunderstand this, in that somebody can be extremely negatively charged about achieving their goals. Like they hate the idea of not being something, therefore they achieve that thing, and they're all committed to proving somebody else wrong, which allows them to then create a life of misery, but they're super successful at it. They don't realize that they're taking all this negative jam and creating success. And then they look at, well, when I go after my dreams, it all sounds a little airy-fairy and wishful thinking kind of stuff. And it's like, you don't realize you've already done it before, but you did it in a super negative way. Talk to me about the experience of kind of where you see people getting tripped up in that transition of either they were, miserable before and then they kind of go after their dreams, or they were really successful in this arena and then they go after their dreams. What's that thing in the middle that gets them tripped up?
Well, people who are achieving or succeeding in that negative way that you just mentioned, first of all, I'd say, well, are they succeeding? Outwardly, I guess they're achieving, maybe they're, monetarily or financially, they seem to be very successful. But if they've got that sort of negative charge around it, then I would question, are they successful? How do you define success? Success is life fulfillment. Life incorporates personal and professional. So I would question that they probably aren't all that successful. They just happen to have achieved the financial success that looks obvious to us in this example because their self-image supported it. That's how important self-image is. So they were clear. They might not have been emotionally excited about it. Yeah, I'll just make it happen. But their self-image so strongly supported it that they thought nothing of committing to make it happen. So, we've seen lots of people, network marketers, for example. I work with lots of network marketers as well as non-network marketers. But in network marketing, it's always funny to see people join a network marketing company, and some of them just go right to the top or, accelerate very quickly. And other people go, what the heck? I've been in here for 5 years and I'm not there yet. What's going on? Why are they so much better? It just happens to be that their self-image supported what it took to be good at network marketing. And you can apply that to, sales and real estate or whatever you want. But that's how strongly the self-image, you can only go as far as your self-image programming allows.
Absolutely.
It sets your boundaries, right? So in those cases, people happen to have a strongly aligned self-image and they go make it happen, but I would suggest they're not really happily successful.
Because definitely not. I wouldn't use the word happily successful. However, they went after something and achieved said thing.
Right.
It just wasn't their dream, their goal.
No.
It's done in protest or whatever.
And you know what? Done in protest, yeah. And it'll only, I'm sorry, but it'll only take you so far along. At some point, because you're hating what you're doing, you're just doing it for somebody else, you will want to bail. Yeah, and let's just talk about vibration if for a second, because everything comes down to vibration. That vibration, it's the law of physics. So that's science tells us. So far as we know, everything in the universe is energy. Mm-hmm. And a property of energy is that everything vibrates on different frequencies. So dream goals, happiness, joyfulness, excitement is on higher vibrations. If you're pissed off, you're frustrated, you're resenting what you're doing, I'm sorry, but you can feel that just with the words I use. I resent it. It pisses me off. Your vibration goes down. When you're in a lower vibration, you just think of yourself when you're in a funk, right? When we get into funks, and we all do, how productive do we feel?
Not very.
No. So when you're in a lower vibration, lower energy, you're not as productive. So if you're hating what you're doing, that's a fairly low, that's like an anchor that's pulling you down in vibration. You'll only be productive for so long. And that's going to play off our vibration. Cause and effect is another law of the universe. We are the cause. Our thoughts, our feelings, our behaviors. Most people think behaviorally, I can see how my behavior has an effect on others. Our thoughts and feelings are also energy. That's a fact of science. That has an effect on others as well. So if you're, happen to be technically successful in whatever you're doing, but you're hating what you're doing, you're resenting that it's somebody else, I don't really want to be here, that has an effect on others. So your supposed success or apparent success will only continue for so long. That's going to start playing out negatively on your own well-being. One of the things I say all the time is your success matters on every level of your well-being, physical, emotional, intellectual, and spiritual. And not only does your success matter to your well-being, but it matters cause and effect to the well-being of those whose lives you touch. So that was kind of a long-winded answer, but you can only go so far when you're achieving for the wrong reasons. You happen to achieve, but it's going to have a negative impact at various levels over time.
All right, so let's suppose that they've got to that moment, they're listening to this and going, okay, I need to change. This is not working for me. Where do you suggest that they start, and how does somebody start to imagine themselves as that person that does the thing that they're hoping and dreaming for?
Where you start is all success begins with desire. Whether you listen to Bob or Napoleon Hill and Think and Grow Rich, the first chapter is all in desire. All the gurus, whether it's Tony Robbins or Joe Dispenza, all success begins with desire. So you've got to do the work, and we're not really conditioned to explore with some frequency over time. Oh, am I doing what I really want to do? What is it I really want to do here? But you've got to start there. You've got to give yourself permission, take the time to explore what it is that you would really love to do. And we do this. I have our signature free training called the FASTPATH to Success is coming up next week. So for listeners, I'm not sure when this is going out, but the FASTPATH to Success, I'm happy to share the link to that. It's free. You just go to my website at rfsuccessacademy.com. But one of the things we do on this FASTPATH is explore what I call your sweet spot. This is how, in answer to your question, where do I start? How do I figure out I'm not where I want to be? I'm not liking what I am doing. How do I shift course, right? So the FASTPATH, or the one of the things on the FASTPATH that we teach, and we teach this in our programs as well, is how to find your sweet spot. Now, your sweet spot, some might call it purpose, but I like calling it your sweet spot, because if you imagine, this is going back to grade 4 or whatever grade it was, we learned Venn diagrams. Maybe that was grade 6. I don't know what it was. But if you imagine 3 circles, okay, 3 circles. The first circle is, and this is finding your sweet spot. What is it I love to do? And let yourself go wild. I love flying kites. A lot of people will tell me, well, I love helping people. Well, just the same as financial health is too vague. Helping people is too vague. What do you love to help people do? Whether it's find their dream home and live a new exciting chapter in a beautiful new home where they can build a family. So, whether it's photography, I love to see, so you've got to get granular in terms of exploring what is it I love to do. And as I say, go wild. Doesn't matter. There's no judgment here. List all the things you love to do. Second circle is, what am I good at? And want to keep getting better at. And those two don't always totally overlap, because usually what you love to do, you tend to be good at because you love to do it. But there's lots of things that you're good at, but you don't happen to love to do. Like, I'm really good at numbers, but I don't love working numbers. So what is it you are good at and would love to keep getting better and better at? Like, in my case, I love coaching and mentoring and inspiring and motivating people. And I know I'm good at it. I'm dying to keep getting better. There's no limits to how much better I can become to help people. And that's the third circle, is how can you take those two, loving what you do and what you're good at, to serve people? I'm going to tell you something. Well, first of all, you want to achieve any big goals, you must be in service. Must. And when you've got the intersection and you're loving what you're doing, you're good at it, and you just want to keep getting better and you're helping people, you're in your sweet spot. And it's an amazing vibration. And that's where you start. Go do the work to explore, what is my sweet spot here? How can I help people? Doing what? What do I love to do? What am I good at? And we'll commit to keep getting better and better. And there's, as I said, there's no end to being better. It's an amazing place to be, in your sweet spot. That's where you start.
I love that. So speaking of finding your sweet spot, who do you love to serve and support? Who's your absolute favorite type of client?
Entrepreneurs and professionals that are hungry, that are serious and excited about creating breakthrough successes, because I know that you're capable. And it's a matter of those entrepreneurs and professionals starting to realize, oh, I am capable. Right? That's where the breakthroughs start. So that's who I love. Where it can be in any field, as long as you're the type that's serious and excited and committed to, I want to figure out how to break through to the next level successes.
I love that. So give us an example of one of your Cinderella stories of your clients.
Oh, I've got so many. I've got one gentleman that came to me about a year and a half ago, exactly. He was a financial advisor to women and successful business. I think he was in his late 40s, or is in his late 40s. And he just wanted to kind of break through, multiply, right? He wanted to multiply his revenues. So he started with me, and within the early work that we do is self-image. I have a program called the Self-Image of Your Dreams. Okay. And it's a standalone program, but it's a key program within our flagship Unstoppable Success System. So this gentleman joined the Unstoppable, which is a 12-month, but the early work in the Unstoppable is the Self-Image of Your Dreams work. So we got him working on that. And he had originally, the first thing we do is get clarity on the goal. Okay. So we get your goal clear. Then we start working on self-image to support the goal. And within a couple of months in, he says, he reaches out and goes, oh, you know what? I'm starting to feel kind of scared and excited, because I think I want to change my goal like 180 degrees. I went, oh, cool. Why? What are you thinking? He said, I've always loved working with my hands in carpentry, in construction stuff. So long story short, he totally left the goal, and he's his kids, I think, are in the late teens, early 20s. So it's not like he has a young family, but he was still supporting family. But he left that altogether, started his own renovation company, and hit it out of the park within weeks, all of a sudden, because he was so excited. He knew my sweet spot. He was so excited, loved to do it. And he hit it out of the park in weeks. He was already hiring. Within a few months, he was hiring people because he had so much work. He said, Sandy, I'm so exhausted, but I love what I'm doing. I get up every morning going, let's get going. And it was amazing because he hit what we call, or what Bob would have called, the terror barrier, which all successful people hit terror barriers because you're outside your comfort zone going for bigger goals. So of course you run into your doubts, and that's normal, but it's normal to expect it. It's a matter of, here's how you get through it. So this gentleman was hitting terror barriers because he was way outside his comfort zone, but we worked with him and he stayed with it, because he knew, he was crystal clear. He was excited. The self-image work started to really, build and support what he was achieving. And he was so committed. He got so committed to this, and he hit it out of the park. So he's doing phenomenally well right now, like way past his original goals of multiplying his revenues. He's just done an amazing job.
Nice. I love to hear those stories. Those are awesome. Yeah. Keep telling people, if you don't want to be in your career, get out of your career and leave it as an opening for somebody else that's in another career that they don't like and they really want to be in yours.
Yeah, great point. I love that. I love that.
This is awesome. Yeah. So what are some of the stumbling blocks that somebody might be having right now, and they're thinking, oh my God, Sandy, I need you so badly?
Well, there's self-image related stumbling blocks. Like, I'd love to, but I don't know if I can. Am I good enough to do that? Is it the right decision? What if I make a wrong decision? Okay. One of the biggest stumbling blocks is what I call the what if vortex. What if it just doesn't work? What if it's the wrong decision? What if I fail? What if I really look bad? Right? What if I don't have enough money coming in? All this negative spin? that is all your mind spinning. It's not a reality. It's just your mind spinning. So what if spun negatively is fear? Not a good place to be. What if spun positively is faith? A wonderful place to be. So take those things that you're spinning negatively and spin them positively. What if I succeed? What if I make a lot of money doing this? What if people are admiring me, what I do? What if I have a ton of fun? What if it's the best decision ever? Either one of those is not reality. It's your mind spinning it. So to become aware, oh, I'm spinning negative, flip it to its polar opposite positive, spend time there where your attention goes, energy flows. Your energy will rise if you start to spin positively. So that what if vortex, in answer to your question, is one of the big things that people, don't decide to commit to creating that new chapter, because all this what if spinning is happening, right? That's probably the fall of most big dream goals, that negative what if spin. Another thing that if people want to work with me, it's like, yeah, but you should probably cost money. I don't have the money. It's like, well, guess what? You are where you are financially because of your mindset. So if you want to, it's actually the reverse. You want to work on your mindset in order to get the money going. Mm-hmm. You don't want to get the money going in order to work on your mindset.
Because it doesn't work.
Because you are where you are because of your mindset. So you need to work on your mindset. Yeah, so it's kind of like, oh, you got wrong order here. So those are, two of the typical things that stand in people's way. I don't have the money to invest in myself. And the other, here's another big thing that stands in people's way. And I referred to it earlier. Your success matters. How many of us women are really bad at this, or good at it, depending on your angle, of putting yourself last? I get my kids first, my spouse first. I've got to do this for friends. I'm doing this. I belong to this group in the community, and I got to do that first. Where is the time for you? Your success matters. So that's a big stumbling block for people. That, yeah, I'd love to decide to create a great new chapter. I'd love to get the support of Sandy or whomever else, but my kids are doing this, and I got stop. You got to stop that. Your success does matter way more than you think it does.
Nice. Love that. And it is paramount to me that when people work with somebody like you and they go and they see those successes and they look back and they go, God, I couldn't even imagine being here right now. It's like, well, actually you could. But I mean, it's just sometimes so far out of their acceptable reality, if you want to put it that way, that they're not allowed to think those things about themselves. They're not allowed to have those hopes, dreams, aspirations.
Yeah, they reject them.
Who am I to speak in front of people? Who am I to run $1 million company?
Right.
Those sorts of silliness. And it's like, I don't think people realize that everybody's in that exact same spot at some point in their life.
Absolutely. Including those of us that have achieved and succeeded, right? In certain, I've not finished achieving and succeeding, but here's a fun little story. When I first began as a coach working with Bob Proctor, part of my dream goals was, because I have always done a lot of speaking engagements, and I'm an inspirational, motivational kind of teacher speaker. And part of my goal was, I want to be on stage with Bob Proctor. And guess what? My self-image, just exactly your wording there, Michelle. My self-image went, who am I to think that I'm going to be on stage with Bob Proctor? I'm sure everybody in this room, there was a whole bunch of us coaches and consultants, like everybody wants to, who am I to think that I could be on stage with Bob Proctor? 2 years later, I was on stage with Bob Proctor.
Nice.
I had an event in Toronto, an all-day event with a colleague of mine called Unleashed. And we invited Bob to be our guest speaker. 3 hours. He said yes. And I was up on stage with Bob Proctor at my event. It's like, nice. I achieved a dream goal, but I know that feeling. Oh, who am I to think that that's going to happen? Who are you not to? Who are you not to live up to your talents and your gifts? There's no limit to your gifts. None. I love to say, if I could open you up, if I could unzip you and open you up and peer inside at all your talents and gifts, you'd be stunned. You know what? You'd look inside and go, oh my gosh, look what I've got here. I've got this gift and this talent and this gift and this. I'm going to start doing this, and this, because you see your talents. Well, you can't see a lot of those talents. They're hidden. You got to let them come to the surface. You got to trust that they're there, because they are. You do not ever lack talent or capability. Science and theology, the only two sources you can go to, both agree that we're barely scratching the surface of who and what we are. That we've barely begun to expose all of our talents and gifts. Let them come to the surface. There's tons there that will stun you.
Absolutely. I've often said that, we play this game now in our house. It's like, if I could live an infinite amount of lives, what kind of things would I love to master? And we go through
That's a great question.
those things. It's super fun because we don't realize how many things that we could be incredibly good at if we just took the time to be able to master said things. And sometimes it's just a matter of being able to go and play with those things. It's like, okay, I might not be a concert pianist, but it'd be really fun to just go and, learn how to play piano, or go jam in a subway somewhere with some people, or, just start to think of inane things that might be able to get the juices flowing and go, I could do some really crazy things. And what if I actually liked it?
Yeah. What if I liked it?
That is awesome. I know our listeners are going to want more from you. So how did they start their journey with us? Give us that website again. I know it'll be in the show notes for everybody that's listening, but give it to us again. So if they're excited, they can just race over there.
Sure. It's our website is rfsuccessacademy.com. RF, reach for, just to remind you what that stands, what those letters are. rfsuccessacademy.com. And on the homepage is the registration for the FASTPATH. The next FASTPATH starts May 2nd. It's 4 days next week. It's only an hour a day. We go live in our Success Accelerator Facebook community, but if you can't catch the lives, it's all recorded. But there are free evening coaching sessions. You get your own success advisor. There's a really good workbook that we're going to get you working the material to help you apply it. There are giveaways, bonus sessions. It's a phenomenal high vibe journey with us next week. So you can see that on our website. The programs are there on the website as well. The Unstoppables there. So it's rfsuccessacademy.com.
I love that. You've been absolutely awesome. And I have to ask you this. At what point in your life did you know that you were a special kind of crazy enough to think that you could become an entrepreneur?
Oh, wow. That's an interesting question. Because I defaulted to being an entrepreneur because of my child's illness, right? Or health issues. So it's not like I knew I was going to be an entrepreneur. So that's interesting, but it wasn't until, because as I said earlier, my self-image and belief system was not supporting that of a successful entrepreneur. So it wasn't until I immersed into Bob's material, his success system, which is part of our Unstoppable, and got that guidance and someone there to hold me accountable, connect the dots. I've always loved Steve Jobs' quote, you can't connect the dots looking forward, you can only connect them looking back. That's why you need to work with someone who's been where you want to go, because they'll connect the dots looking back. So it wasn't until I had that additional support and accountability that everything shifted and my self-image started to come into alignment. And that's when I went, I'm a successful entrepreneur. That's me. Yeah. But I had to get there through understanding how success works and how to get myself into alignment and getting the support.
Nice. I love that. Yes. Some people just know that they are meant to jump off that edge, if you will. And some people are like, hey, there's an edge over there. That looks really intriguing. I think I want to jump over that edge. And some people just fall off the edge and go, hey, look, I'm off the edge. Who knew?
Yep.
Different
awesome. Ways of getting there.
Awesome. Sandy, you have been absolutely phenomenal. Any last words for our peeps?
You know what? You are capable of anything. Don't hold back. Your success really does matter. So take the time to explore what you really would like to do and then get the help to get there, and you will get there.
Love it. Peeps, this is Michelle Nedelec. Thank you for being here with us today. If you know anyone that would make a great guest for the show, or if you have any questions you'd like me to discuss, reach out to me at michelle@awarenessstrategies.com or connect with me on LinkedIn or Facebook. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you for listening to our show. I'm all about being a resource center for entrepreneurs to give them the information and the support that they need to make it in business. As such, the notes for this show can be found at our website at awarenessstrategies.com/blog. Be sure to subscribe, give us a rating. I like 5 stars personally, and share with your friends.